Welcome to another edition of Community Conversations. I'm Laura Wagoner, your host. In my community affairs role at Villanova University, I've met many exceptional people doing extraordinary work, from university professors and leaders of service organizations to law enforcement officials and township commissioners. The goal of this program is to provide you, the viewers, a monthly glimpse of the people making headlines at Villanova University and across the township. Today I'll introduce you to two of those people that play an instrumental role in helping make the township the special place it is. Our first guest is Christopher Todd. Chris is the owner and head chef of Christopher's, a neighborhood place restaurant located in Wayne and Malvern. Chris has been involved with the Wayne Business Association for 10 years, serving as its president for the past 4. He is on the Wayne Music Festival, Radnor Fall Festival, and Christmas in Wayne committees, and received the Lawrence T. Adelberger Award, which is presented annually to a Wayne Business Association member for exemplary volunteer service. Our second guest is Tim Rubin. Mr. Rubin is the founder and president of RIR Management Services, a real estate development company. RIR has over 1 million square feet of commercial real estate under its management. Tim's 25 years of commercial real estate experience have helped provide him a unique access to development opportunities and community development. He currently serves as the Bryn Business Association president, and he's on the board of the Mainline Senior Care, Bryn Film Institute, and Students Run Philly Style. Tim and Chris, thank you for joining me today.
Hey, Laura. Thank you.
Yes. So, Chris, we worked together on the inaugural Villanova Dines Out Restaurant Week this past fall. We had over 50 participating restaurants from Stratford to Bryn Mawr. Can you talk a little bit about your initial reaction to this event?
Yeah, it was a great first event. People have been asking, restaurateurs have been asking for a mainline restaurant week for a long time now. But whenever I said, great, organize it, nobody ever stepped up to the plate. So it was great when you came along and grabbed, came up with that idea. So it really worked well. I mean, everybody was happy with it. The publicity alone was great. Villanova, yourself organizing it was, putting the website together, reaching out to following up with the restaurants is what was needed.
Yes,
so,
and that was certainly a lot of work.
Yeah, it's an incredible amount of work. That's why it was great that you volunteered for that.
Thank you. And Tim, you recently became the president of Bryn Mawr Business Association, but you were on the board as we kicked off the event last year, and
That's right.
You were involved a little bit in the process as well?
Yeah, I thought it went fantastic, and it seems like the kind of event that's going to pick up steam and build momentum over the years. And I think it's a real win-win. So thanks for all the hard work that you put into it.
Thank you. So how many restaurants do we have in the Wayne area?
In the Wayne area, there's probably 40, 45 right in the WBOD, the Wayne Business Overlay District, and on the outliers as well. So everybody was thrilled with it, and there's enough to grow as well, which we're looking forward to.
Sure. And how many are in Bryn Mawr as well?
I don't have an exact number, so thanks for sandbagging me on that question, but I'd say approximately the same thing. I mean, food is a huge catalyst for all the retail. Mm-hmm. Everywhere for that matter, and it's one of the things that's really on trend. So every time we turn around, there's a new restaurant opening up, so it's hard to even keep track of it.
Sure. So Chris, can you talk a little bit about how I came to you and the university? We talked about partnering up with the restaurants and sort of what kind of feedback initially you received from the restaurants, and in the end, with how successful it was.
Yeah, well, the WBA and Villanova and yourself, we've been working together on a lot of things that has to do with the community, and you brought up the idea of the restaurant week, and it really was. It just worked out. Like I said, people continued to ask for it. We emailed our list. We worked together with you guys as well. Mm-hmm. The great thing about Villanova is you guys and Laura, you guys bring the business associations together, which is nice. Mm-hmm. 476. I don't want to say it's a divider, but it's a divider. And to actually have the communication, somebody that as a go-between is what's really making it, and will continue to make it a success. Restaurants were great. I mean, we did some people did discounts. I did and some of us did prefix menus. Mm-hmm. I think we talked about going more onto prefix menus.
Similar to Philadelphia.
Yeah, similar to Philadelphia. And I mean, that's kind of the restaurant week thing. A restaurant week is a great way for restaurants to, one, get basically free promotion, as well as the townships or the business associations. And to promote yourself, get those people that haven't been to you to come in. And it's not always that it's just discounts or a smaller menu. It's just something a little different.
Yeah, so I know we had heard feedback from students who had said that they normally, couldn't have a 3-course meal at one of our local restaurants, but this was a great way for them to get out. And we had also partnered with some local breweries for Christopher's special.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was great. I mean, we had 3 Villanova grads open up 3 local breweries. So Cape May,
La Cabra, and Evil Genius.
Thank you, Evil Genius. Yeah. So we had, happy hour. We had a happy hour, and actually people came out for it. It was great. A couple of the brewers this year will definitely get ahead of the game and get the brewers up there as well. I know Dan from La Cabra came down for that, but it was great Villanova has such a tight alumni association. I believe it's one of the most alumni stay in the area. It's one of the colleges in the nation, largest college in the nation, has the largest amount of alumni stay in the area. So it's Villanova strong, as we'll all know this week.
Yes. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Yes. So we had partnered up with Bryn Mawr Business Association, Wayne Business Association, but we also had members who were not, or restaurants who were not in the association as well. But this year, we'll hope to bring those members in, expand the restaurants. We are also looking to expand to other local colleges and universities in the area, and just sort of get the word out more. This year we did it where you just had to wear your Villanova Pride or show a Villanova ID to really get community members involved. But Tim, I know you have a lot of experience in development. Do you have any ideas on other ways that we could bring more community members out and into the local restaurants?
I think you're doing a great job, and I think it's just a lot to do with social media, word of mouth, and we, getting the word out in our different association meetings and any way we can. But I think a lot of it will be word of mouth, quite frankly. I think it's a great program, and I don't know why word wouldn't spread.
Yeah. So Chris, you had mentioned we had some very positive coverage in the local media, including the Philadelphia Inquirer, Mainline Today, Delaware County Times, Vista Today, Savvy, Mainline Neighbors, Destination Delco, just to name a few, which shed great light on Restaurant Week and the economic impact the university sort of has in our community. So could you talk, both of you, a little bit about what you see in Wayne and Bryn Mawr in terms of student, visitor, alumni spending in terms of economic impact?
Yeah, I can start.
Yeah, sure, you can start.
Well, look, there's no... How can I start? With the universities, Villanova and the rest, I mean, there are 8 or 10 universities right now, Wayne alone, Radnor, I should say. The economic impact, I mean, we all look forward to, in my business, the restaurant business, we all look forward to May and graduation. Not that everybody's leaving, but graduation's great. All of them. They fill up the restaurants.
Parents' weekend.
And even more so in the parents' weekends in the beginning of the year, when kids are visiting, I meet so many parents that come with their kids with Villanova gear, Cabrini gear, anything like that are coming in just to see if they want to go to this, for school visitations, which I've just gone through. And it's great because they come in as long as, we have a great group, we have a great town. You can get everything you need here. The restaurant's great. Everybody, it's still family friendly. It's still family-esque. It's small business. It's not big chain. So the owner does come out and say, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, you're visiting," and then they can get information from you of where to go next or anything like that. So huge economic impact. If we didn't have those parents' weekends and the graduations, it'd be a different ball game. So.
Yeah, similar experience in Bryn Mawr. In a way, when you look at the university through that lens, Bryn Mawr and Wayne are kind of bookends. So we have that walkability. We're close to the train station. We have the Route 100 line. We have a lot of the venues that the students really enjoy in terms of food and nightlife and things like that. And the other thing that I'm personally involved with is student rentals. which is great. We have a nice little community of students that actually live above some of the shops and restaurants, and they're great members of the community, and they have a lot of disposable income, and I've enjoyed working with them.
Good. So Tim, you just took over as president of Bryn Mawr Business Association this year. Can you talk a little bit about your background, your role as president, and what types of interaction you've had with Villanova? You just mentioned as a realtor, but any
Sure.
other interactions you've had with the university in the past?
Sure, yeah. So first, my background obviously is commercial real estate, as you mentioned earlier, and that was how I got involved with Bryn Mawr in particular, as we kind of put our money where our mouth is, and we've invested in over 10 properties in that local Bryn Mawr town. So through my involvement in those acquisitions, I've gotten to know community members, and I became a member of the Bryn Mawr Business Association. And the way I kind of approach this new role, which I'm very proud to take on, I'm very honored that I was asked to do this, is I kind of look at it through the lens of all my experience with enclosed shopping malls, big shopping centers, which was the majority of my career. And what I mean by that is I take a lot of what I've learned in that career and I apply it to a town like Bryn Mawr. I look at it as though there are anchor tenants, just like an enclosed shopping mall, and Villanova being one of our primary anchor tenants, but we also have Bryn Mawr Hospital as a big traffic generator, and someone that's got a couple thousand employees 24/7. I also look at Bryn Mawr, the shops, as merchandising a mall, mixing uses, creating synergies, good co-tenancy. I look at trends across the country. That's also something in my past travels that I concentrated on. And if you look at really trends not only in the United States but internationally, people are generally flocking to cities and towns. They like to live in areas that are walkable, where they eat, work, live. I think that Bryn Mawr, or Wayne for that matter, has all those basic ingredients to what would make otherwise a great shopping center, except that it's authentic, which is another buzzword in the industry. I've gone through a couple decades of building these mixed-use town centers that come up out of the ground and everything's brand new, whereas places like Wayne and Bryn Mawr have hundreds of years of history. Our association alone is 102 years old. And we have a collection of merchants local to Bryn Mawr that have been in business for 100 years or more.
Wow.
So through that background and through that lens, I hope to be able to kind of take the baton and run with it a little bit and help to re-merchandise through not only the properties that we own, but working together with other property owners to, just like I said, create synergies. And I'm a big believer, at least along the main line where you have these fantastic demographics in terms of incomes, density, education levels. I'm a huge believer in 1 + 1 = 3 or 4, and to the extent we can get a couple great uses, I'm a huge fan of food. Like I said earlier, yeah, it's a catalyst for everything, because really when you think about it, you're trying to generate activity. You're trying to generate foot traffic and establish patterns. And probably one of the easiest ways to do that is through food. And that, honestly, is when you wear the hat of a local real estate owner versus my president of Bryn Mawr Business Association. I just feel that that's where the most potential is.
Good. Well, I've been attending the monthly Bryn Mawr Business Association meetings for about a year now. It's been a great way to meet and interface with different members.
Right.
And as you know, I usually give an update on what the university is working on, different initiatives, in addition to receiving feedback from members on what they're seeing and hearing in Bryn Mawr. Can you talk a little bit about what we're hearing and what we're collaborating on from those meetings?
Yeah, these meetings are fantastic. That's another reason that I got involved with the organization. There's a great representation, a cross-section, I should say, of different interests and involvement in terms of who attends those meetings. You have representatives from Mainline Health. You certainly have you on behalf of Villanova. We've got a lot of local merchants, developers, and then we're also, as you know, involved closely with Lower Merion Township, and oftentimes there's a couple representatives from Lower Merion Township that attend the meetings, and it's all about communicating. And things surface in the meeting that, as you know, that can range from holiday decor to issues with trash and noise and anything in between. I'd like to try and, as much as I can, push to make these meetings more of a forum of, talking about how we can make grow business, ring the register, drive more traffic, create new events, and drive more people to the current events that we have taking place throughout the year. But certainly as it relates to Villanova, I know that you've attended several meetings where there was discussion about some of it was based on noise or trash, and some of it's just rumor mill. And you're there to address what are concrete, real issues, and then dispel rumors. So that's all part of the communicating.
Yeah, I've actually really enjoyed getting to know everyone on the board, those who attend the meetings, and bringing that feedback back to the university to work on different initiatives like the Good Neighbor Guide and the barbecue we hosted at Home Properties, and that all came from feedback from those meetings. So that's something we certainly can bring to Wayne Business Association as well. As you mentioned, there's 8 colleges and universities in the area between the two. Do you see any other potential areas for collaboration or partnerships?
Oh, there's always potential, without a doubt. I mean, with Villanova, you guys already help us so much for Radnor Fall Fest. You guys donate generators for the Wayne tree lighting. We don't do generators, but there's some equipment you guys donate. You donate that wonderful electrician you guys send down.
Sure.
And,
do we have a car in the car show as well? In Wayne Wheels?
You might. I'm not sure about that. That Wayne Wheels is run by Radnor Township.
Okay.
So it's a great event, and that's coming up soon. No, there's always what you're doing right now. Just communication is the biggest thing, and like you said, dispelling rumors and just making sure everybody's on the same page is huge. You guys continue to help us with the Radnor Township. With cleanups and that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot going on in Wayne right now. I know that for a fact.
Good. So we are partnering with both the organizations as well as the Ardmore Initiative on an upcoming small business networking event and panel discussion, which will feature an associate chair of the economics department at Villanova School of Business, the general manager of Suburban Square, and the owner of the live music venue 118 North in Wayne. What are your goals for this event, and can you talk a little bit about how we came together to come up with it?
Well, I think Tim should talk too, because I just want to know how you get 1 + 1 = 3 or 4. I need that algorithm. That would really help with my
proprietary real estate formula.
Partnership.
I was just going with it.
Right.
No, I think that came about again to bring the business associations and to offer community relations. I mean, I know look, the main line is great because we've already talked on some of this. Every town is an original town center, original authentic town center. I like that. I'm going to have to add that to my repertoire as you go out. And each one is continuing to grow. So I know we're going to be inviting the Malvern, Paoli, Bryn business associations as well.
Oh, great.
It should be a big group. It's a good way to get everybody together so we all kind of know what's going on and feed off of our ideas,
right?
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Tim?
I agree 100%. I think it is all about communication, and it's also about a great offering for our members. So you've done me a huge favor in the sense that now it's just yet another opportunity for folks that are involved with the association to go out and network and as you said, just talk about different ideas and
retail trends, importance of brick and mortar.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
I mean, I can't wait to go because I want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah. And really, if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. It was a fantastic idea because it marries up a need that we have with resources that the university has. So I think it's a fantastic idea, and I'm sure that it'll be a huge success and probably be the start of something much bigger.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you think that. So you both have a lot of events throughout the year through your organizations. Large events, you mentioned a few. I know we talked a little bit about Bryn Mawr Day, but can you talk a little bit more about what your association does and how you interact with the people?
Oh yeah, I don't know if we have that much time. But Well, coming up, we have our, excuse me, WBA, we have our annual April meeting, April 25th at the Wayne Arts Center. That's the big one. Our 80th year. And so we're going to bring some old past presidents in so they can tell some jokes. That's where we actually have a Ben Wilson Award for a community volunteer that's nominated by that Ben Wilson committee. Bryn Mawr Trust actually donates $500 to their specific charity. We do the Adelberger Award, which is a surprise award. Nobody knows except for the past 3 winners who choose a WBA member that's really been involved in volunteerism. So it's a great event. But then the Wheels of Wayne are coming up. Wayne Music Festival is June 9th.
Do you have any big performers
The
this
Whalers.
year?
The Whalers were the...
Wow.
Yeah, come on down.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, you know. We have a lot of sponsorships still available.
Good to know.
And then we'll cruise through the summer. We got the Radnor Fall Fest, always a big... It's grown into a huge community event. So if you want to be part of the community, if you want to see the community around you, the 5 miles around you, you should participate in that event without a doubt. Over 70 to 80 vendors, kid ride, like rides for the kids, all that kind of stuff. It's always a fun day out.
Great.
So.
Good. Tim?
Yeah, we have a lot going on all year. Our biggest event, as you mentioned, as we discussed, is Bryn Mawr Day. That's the first Saturday following Labor Day. So this year, I believe it is September 7th. And we've had as many as 8,000 people turn out.
Wow.
And it takes place in what we call Lot 7, the main municipal lot in front of the train station. And that's kind of our little version of North Wayne Avenue, where you can get out of the traffic and set back a little bit and have some space. So
it's hard to close down a highway.
Yeah, it is. I've tried. So anyway, Bryn Mawr Day is a fantastic event. We have 90 vendors. We have 15 entertainment acts, petting zoo, aerobics, etc. But in addition to that, coming up, we have our Easter egg hunt on April 20th, second annual. We have over 2,000 eggs. That's a great family-oriented event. We're partnering up with the Horizon Community Church again. And then again, in that same municipal lot, Lot 7, we obviously have our farmers market, and then we have Clover Day coming up, which is the Clover Market, I should say, on April 28th and May 19th, which is an outstanding operation. If nobody's seen that or experienced it, I would encourage them to get out. So there's just a lot going on. We obviously have our tree lighting around the holidays. And the one thing that I wanted to mention about the association, as you know, because you've attended the meetings, is in addition to putting together all these events and providing all kinds of services and networking opportunities for our members, we're also responsible for the holiday decor, as you know.
Yes.
So we wear many hats.
About
yes,
the decor.
Exactly.
As we do in the WBA as well. So.
Yes, well, WBA has actually hosted an event at the inn, so we'll have to have you guys come as well.
Sure.
Maybe the next monthly membership meeting. That would be great.
That would be fantastic.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you, Tim and Chris, for joining me on Community Conversations and sharing the great work being done in Bryn Mawr and Wayne and the positive collaboration taking place between the local business associations and our local colleges and universities. Please join me next time on Community Conversations as I introduce you to more exceptional people doing more extraordinary work here in your local community.